Hello everyone, my name is Thomas the Solution, and you hear aka Mustached Tom, and I'm here to review the movie Prey. So, in this movie we follow a young man named Toby who seems to be this carefree, oh I'm just gonna do whatever kind of kid. And on that day where his father is trying to ask for a little bit of help, his father goes out to fix his car, and then he is suddenly attacked by these two masked individuals. So, in the process of this theft, they steal the father's car, he's killed in the process. So Toby is left alone. So he's left to this psych evaluation of sorts, and then after the fact, he is prompted to join this group of other individuals who apparently have had something happen to them. And through this, he is guided to an island, and he is told that he needs to reflect for 3 days and just do whatever on this island to become a better person, and all this and all that. So he goes on the island, and he's kind of sticking around, and at nights he starts to hear things and see a little bit of stuff, but nothing really concrete as of the first night. On the second day, I think it's the second day, he sees this young girl, about his age, I suppose, named Madeline. And she seems to be very accustomed to being on this island. So he goes up to her, follows her for a bit, and then starts to talk to her, trying to figure out how she got here, what her situation is, etc., etc. So the two form a bond where he's sort of teaching her about what it's like to be in the modern society, and she's teaching him about how to survive in this forest-like area. And we also see that while he's prepping to leave on the third day, that things are happening in the background, shifting in the stuff like that. So this Madeline warns young Toby about her mother, saying that the mother will kill him if he sticks around in a certain area. So there's more suspicious activity. He does see the mother eventually, and then he kind of oversleeps for the third in process day, in which, on that, we see the return of the lady who's getting ready to pick him up first, but we see that she is killed by some sort of monster. We see the monster on the poster on the right there, obviously, the big horned creature. We don't see it too clearly yet. She sort of just screams, and then we see the slash. So Toby catches this little one of those circle raft things lifeboat things, and he sort of follows it to the boat where it's been completely flipped over. It's a pretty big boat, so it's a little bit of a power, I guess. Nonetheless, he searches inside and eventually finds the dead body, and he saw the figure leave the area. So he's sort of stranded there now, and he's trying to figure out how he's gonna get her out, and how that being Madeline, the mom, obviously, and how the mom is gonna do whatever she's gonna have to do to survive. So as he's journeying along the way, he bumps into one of the others, the people from his group. his name was like, I completely missed it, honestly. But, you know, it doesn't stay relevant for too long because this character is sort of like, oh, we should leave and stuff like that. And then when he's left alone, because Toby had left already, he gets killed. This guy that wanted to leave. So Toby's alone again as he returns to the scene of the crime, seeing a glimpse of the monster himself for the first time. And he assumes that it's the mom. He eventually like flees from her. I forget where this happens in the movie. I forget if this happens before he like meets up with this guy or after. But like he's like running from the mom like because she's like chasing him. And he had already built like this trap on this hut, kind of like Predator style, I want to say. And the trap actually does work in this scenario. And the woman is killed, or stabbed at the very least, into a kill state. And in the process of being near death, she warns Toby that the monster that he saw was actually Madeline, and Madeline was apparently responsible for all the other death that occurred. And we see a flashback of a much younger Madeline stepping forward into this sort of circle thing that has like this tarp with this masked figure face paint on it. And it like goes into her and it shows her transformation. So we now know, as the audience, we now know that she is indeed this monster. And eventually, yes, Toby does find out. After being attacked near sort of his campsite, he sees her come into frame and she's the monster, and then when she approaches the light, she returns to normal. So now he's freaking out because he doesn't know what to do. So she kind of has feelings for him now, like kissing him and all that stuff. And he's trying to like get out of this situation because the situation has gravely changed. So again, I kind of missed this. At some point in the movie, he found some sort of flash tower where the finale of the movie takes place, but he found it earlier. So he heads back there to like light up the light with gas and this little crank thing, and the light is like spinning around. So he heads back there after like tying her up and then leaving her at the other campsite. And eventually she stirs after like some time of him just waiting around for someone to see the light. And eventually she comes to his location and they fight in a back and forth of like, oh, he's gonna get this knife thing, and then she's gonna grab him, and then he's gonna use the light from a mirror to like blind her temporarily. And eventually gets to the point where there is gasoline dropped earlier when he fell from the stairs, and in that process, he sort of gets outside, leaves her in there, closes the door, and makes his way, seeing this boat in the distance, sort of starting to head in his direction. So he goes out to the beach, into the water, and he's like trying to call over to it. And then we see, in a weird sort of like, because it is made abundantly clear that she can teleport to some extent, but she manages to teleport all the way to the water and is like behind him. And then it just cuts away to the boat, and then when we see the boat pick someone up, it ends up actually being Madeline and not Toby that is picked up and moved along the way. So, for a movie that seems a little bit on the lower end of budget, I'm not sure, it wasn't that bad. The ending was a little bit weird, but whatever. But, I think there was a decent setup to this, thing. I'd actually give it a halfway mark, I think. I think I'd give it a 5 out of 10, maybe even a 6 out of 10. I'd probably lean a little bit closer to that. Effects aside, I think this movie had a pretty decent setup, again, as I said. I think the ending could have been a little bit more back and forth out into the water for that final bit to make a little bit more sense, but, she can teleport, so I guess it's fine, I don't know. But that is my review of Prey, and if you did enjoy it, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head you over to my Discord server, the other to my Patreon page. Any donations are greatly appreciated. Until next time, everyone, bye-bye.